Hello, welcome to episode 311 of the video show. We are once again live, as is every odd number of the video show. We're here in the studio. Hello. And unfortunately, just before we went live, I had camera 3, which is usually behind me. And where I moved my chair slightly, for some reason, it decided just to fall flat on the floor. Luckily, the camera is absolutely fine, but the HDMI cable that was plugged into it, I had to sort of fish it out the side of it, and the HDMI cable was no more. So, yeah, include that in your prayers tonight. I've ordered a replacement from Amazon, but the offending HDMI cable was now in the bin. But the camera's fine, so that's all good. Right, let's move the microphone a little bit closer towards me. So, just before we get started, I wanted to just sort of show you the studio shot there, the GoPro behind me. You'll notice we have, there we go, a new armchair. So this is because we are building a new studio setup here. Sorry, my phone just rang. So we're building a new studio setup here where we are going to be hosting a new show. So I've got a show that I'm hosting and a show that a client's hosting. So hence why we're putting a bit of effort into creating something that's going to look a little bit better than it currently does. I will be able to show you what it looked like, but I dropped the camera and I need to get a new HDMI cable for tomorrow. So yeah, keep an eye out for those new shows. I'll be sharing them on my Facebook and my YouTube and stuff like that. And today's episode is all about 10 things you need to create a regular video series. So I'm looking at my notes there because how am I going to remember all that without looking at notes? So we're going to be showing you a few things, giving you some ideas about what you need to do to create a really good and memorable video series. So let's get started with number 1, which is very, very, very incredibly obvious. But it's all about your camera, your tripod, your lights, your microphone, all the obvious stuff. So you're going to need some sort of gear. So you can either sort of shoot something on your phone, you can shoot something on a professional camera like this, or the one up there. But invest in lights, invest in as much gear as you can, or just talk to a video production company who can put it all together for you if you don't have the time to do it yourself. So yeah, that's the obvious one. Get that out of the way first. I didn't want to go through camera, tripod, lights, microphone, all as separate points because I want to give you some value in this video. Number 2, very, very important one, is to know your audience. So there's a little thing that I've written down here that I'm going to try and show you. So I'm going to share my screen. Right. So it's a formula that I put together where... All right, let's just try this. Sorry, I made a video earlier about how things are a bit slower than... oh, hold on. Let's move things around. There we go. There we go. Right, we're getting there. Okay, so yeah, things are a bit slower when it comes to live streaming versus creating stuff live. So it's a bit of a sort of going through it all very, very slowly and getting there and trying to make it flow properly. Yeah, I watched that video on LinkedIn on my website, episode 310 of the video show. It's all about practice makes perfect. And I'm definitely not perfect in terms of live streaming yet, but we're getting there. It's all about practice. So the formula for knowing your audience is we help people what the audience are, but problem by theme. Now that probably makes no sense to you. So I've broken it down in terms of what I try to do in terms of what the video show is. So you can try and fill in what you do in terms of what the video shows and fill in the gaps in terms of what you want to do. So we connect people who know that video can help their business, but don't know how to get started by answering their questions and exploring the videos that will get them the best results. So that's as simple as that. That's what the video show is. It's connecting people who know that video can help their business, but they're not sure how to get started. And the way we go about doing that is by exploring the videos that will get them the best results and by answering their questions. That's what I've always tried to do in terms of the video show. That's what I'm trying to do with these live videos. That's what I'm trying to do with the pre-recorded videos. So where does your video, where does your formula fit in terms of that? Let me know in the comments below, like where yours fits in. And then that links up very nicely with the theme of, we'll stop sharing the screen for now, but that links up very nicely in terms of number 3, which is to build a theme. And this is really sort of what the actual video is. So is it like a talking heads thing like this is, like answering frequently asked questions? Other examples are having like a talk show, having interviews with people, gear reviews, product reviews, documentary, and drama. So I'm going to show you a few examples of this now. Share my screen with you again. There we go. Yes, there we go. Right. So, and someone who creates amazing original series are a company called Wistia. So they are a video hosting company, but they create amazing content. They've just released this Talking Too Loud, which is a new podcast I haven't had the chance to listen to yet. But the first series they made was this one called 110-100, which is a 4-part documentary series all about how having constraints in terms of the budget brings about creative options. And then they came up with Brandwagon, which is like a talk show that they had. Then they had Low Views, High Impact, which was looking at videos that have very low views, but have obviously a very high impact in terms of the people that are watching them. And then my favorite of all the video series is this live series called Out of Office Hours with Chris Levine. It's an amazing series in terms of like gear reviews and people coming in and giving you ideas on what types of video to make. And it really helps sort of me build this live stream setup that I've got here. Okay, so and then let's have a look at some other examples. A company called Anderton's, a guitar music shop based in Guildford. I came across these about probably about 5 or 6 years ago when I was filming an event that they were sort of part hosting. And they are a sort of a guitar shop in Guildford, but they create these amazing videos all about guitar reviews or interviewing people, or creating these amazing videos on a really regular basis for their YouTube channel. You can tell how hot it is in here. Look how sweaty I look. Jeez. Okay, and then finally, what was my other example? So HP created this video, this basically is drama starring Christian Slater. It's called The Wolf. I haven't watched it yet, but it's just a drama series about printers. So who'd have thought that? So have a look at that. That's just an example of the types of video series you can make, but that really all does come down to like the time and the budget, which are numbers 4 and 5 in what I wanted to talk about. So in terms of number 4, which is time, I think you need to create these videos at least once a week. But then also you need to think about time as in time into the future. So how much time will we be able to give to this going into the next few weeks, going into the next few months, going into the next few years? It's really going to help if you put some time into it and set some time into it regularly for the first few months, so you know that you're going to commit this time to it, and then it will get easier as time goes on. But I think you need to be creating these videos at least once a week, or if it's just like one big production like HP have done, then you can sort of put them out a few times a year or once a year and have the next big production come out later on. And then 5, that links to budget as well. Time and budget come hand in hand, but it will determine your constraints in terms of how creative you have to be in terms of what you can do with your budget. But I think you can really build something that's quite creative and quite just sort of quite memorable just on if you put some time into thinking about it. Number 6 is having a regular location. So in terms of the video show, I would be able to show you the backdrop here, but as I said earlier, I dropped the camera. But you can see like we've got the set built here in the studio. We've got the regular live stream set up for these live videos set up here, and having a regular location where you can shoot these videos regularly, it really does help. Another thing that can help you fix that kind of problem is by having these paper backdrops. So I've got black, green and white there. You can get these in all sorts of colors, but if you've got these affixed to your wall, it really doesn't matter where you shoot your videos. You can just move the paper and film the video there. It just makes it a lot easier to create these videos wherever you want. And then they seem to last longer as well. Whereas if you look at the video I posted earlier today, the videos from last year where I haven't got this set up here, if you look there, then it really does tell in terms of how much time has passed, because it just doesn't look as good as it should do. Okay, so number 7 is caption your video. So once again, I'm going to share my screen with you. So if you don't already know about rev.com, it's a way that I subtitle all my videos. So what I do, the transcription costs $1.25 a minute. So every single video I make, I get transcribed. So that just gives me a subtitle file that I can upload with my videos. And then you can also get the transcription from that as well. So once you've got the transcription from that, that leads hand in hand to repurposing your content. So by repurposing, I mean you're creating blogs from your transcripts, you're creating cut down videos from your videos, and you're creating audio content from the audio of your videos. That's a really easy way of getting loads of content out of your regular videos. So if you're making these videos once a week anyway, it makes sense to get as much possible content as you possibly can. So it doesn't have to be you doing it. You can employ an editor, someone like that, to come and sort of take your big video and then chop it into little bits and chop it into other bits of content that you can use. But if you're going to be making these videos regularly, I would definitely recommend repurposing the content. Number 9 is measure the results. So once again, I'm going to share my screen with you. The best way to do that is to, for YouTube, is a website called Social Blade. So if you type in the YouTube channel in the top right hand corner there, it will give you all sorts of analytics in terms of how your channel is performing, how the videos are performing, and then how you can help it grow as well. The way that Wistia do that, so if you're hosting your videos on Wistia, so it gives you an idea of how long people are watching the videos for, as you can see there, how many people have watched it, the play rate and the average engagement in terms of the video as well. So if you're measuring the results in terms of the brand search impressions through Google or Social Blade, the view time through Wistia or the YouTube one, or the subscribers through Social Blade and things like that, if you're noticing how they're going up, you'll notice that your video series is working. So definitely measure your results, and that way you know that you're doing the right thing. And if not, then that leads to number 10, which is don't be scared to make a change. So you'll notice that these live videos change pretty quickly. So I'm always trying to sort of improve them. I'm trying to like create new ways of making them look better. So that's why I've invested in all this equipment. If you're always happy to change your videos and always happy to sort of push it to that next level, you're never going to get bored making them. You're always going to try and improve it. And then that way, your videos are going to get more and more successful as time goes on. So that's it for episode 311. Hopefully we've all stayed in sync and everything has worked as good as it possibly can, but I'll watch it back, and if not, I'll re-edit it and sync it all up and post it tomorrow at some point. So if you haven't watched episode 310, it's on LinkedIn already, so take a look at that. And episode 312 will be out next week. That's all about puppets. So that's a behind the scenes look at one of the videos we created recently. And episode 313 this time next week will all be about the top 10 videos that I watch. So that'll be interesting to watch. Hopefully it'll give you some tips on what kind of videos you can start watching. So that's it for episode 311. I'll see you next time. See you next week. Have a good day. I'm going to go and shower because it's absolutely boiling in here. I'm really very sweaty. So have a great evening, and I'll speak to you soon.